You know, you really can't be there for. Yeah. Oh, oops. I'm a professional. Sorry, I was just telling the cat off because she's sitting on my wall. Can you not? Can you? Can you? Can you not? You are very cute, but can you not? Can you actually not? She's very sweet though. She just kind of lets you do whatever. She likes having her belly rubbed. She's so sweet. So sweet. She's purring. Mm. She occasionally will give you a boop on the nose though. Right. You're going on the floor now. Goodbye. Just stay down there, okay? I don't want your bum on this, thank you. So, I was gonna go and eat, but then I realised that I'm not hungry yet. So, I went and got the electric blanket to make me toasty. Very important. So, I was previously streaming on YouTube and Facebook, but Facebook wasn't really doing very much. So I switched to Twitch because apparently I can only stream on two platforms with the streaming platform thingy I use. The streaming, I use Restream, and unless you pay money, you can't do more than two apparently, which is a bit rubbish. But what can you do? So, oh, my face is completely blocked off now. I'm sure it wasn't like that when I was streaming before, but never mind. I think, oh, I know why it was. I think I was showing some of the fabric off. So that might be better. Is that better? More or less. So, anyway, what I was doing, if you're just joining from Twitch now, what I was doing was, oh, you're sitting on my other fabric now. No, no. I know you want to be included, but no. Um, basically, I'm doing the Bergschneider challenge, and I have this coat which I have deconstructed partially. I've ripped the arms off. Um, so because basically the only size that was available was a small, and I am very much not a small, um, in any sense of the word. Um, Even if like I have a relatively small waist, I have the big badonk donk, so it's just not gonna work. I need something larger. I usually I wear a large in most things, so because of the chesticles and yes, so anyway, so yeah, small is not going to work for me. Not for many years anyway. I've not fit into a small for many years. So I'm trying to make this coat bigger. So and what I've done is I've ripped the arms off to start with. Um and also ripped the cuffs from the arms, the sleeves. So, because the sleeves didn't fit me anyway, they were the part that fit me the worst. So, what I was thinking was to make it a sleeveless coat, like a long waistcoat kind of, not waistcoat, that's not the right word, vest, like something like that, like an extra garment, but with no sleeves, like a sleeveless coat. Um, and to do that, and to make it fit, I would use the sleeves. So use the sleeve fabric, to make that fit. And I would also have this as extra fabric if I need to put it somewhere. So I could put, like, if I need to add a triangle of this fabric somewhere, I can do. Yeah, so what I'm thinking I will do is I'll probably next, because I'm at the I'm deconstructing everything into their individual pieces. So I've done the arms, I've done the sleeves. What I can do is I could either do all along the side, or I could do just partially down it in order to put like a triangle of fabric to make the side bigger. I think what I'm probably going to do is just do all the way along. And then maybe make either a strip or make like a kind of, I don't know what that would be, like an hourglass kind of a shape. So it goes very slightly in and then very wide at the bottom, because I want to, if I'm going to add any extra skirt, that's going to help make the skirt fuller as well for my badonkadonk. Not that it was having much problem in the badonkadonk area, it was mostly in like this area, but once I took the sleeves off, it seemed to fit a bit better. So I think once I put a bit of extra give in the under the arm area, it's going to pull everything else up here to the right sort of size. That makes sense. And I'm also going to be putting a fur trim in on the opening, the front opening of the coat. So this is becoming very, very complicated explanation. But yeah, so I'm also going to be trimming it in fur. So there's a bit of leeway with the front opening, but I need to put a bit more into the sides. So I think I might just unpick the entire side first, and then figure out what I've got to do with this. With making a panel, I need to somehow figure out how the panel is going to work. But I've been unpicking and I've kind of gotten into a rhythm with it, so I might as well carry on unpicking. Where did the unpicker go? That is the question. Where did I put my stitch unpicker? Because I've got another one in there, but I'd rather know where it's here. This is how things get lost. Right, so stitch unpicker. I'm just gonna unpick the entire side seam, basically. And I know that I need at least a few inches each side. Like, if I can get 2.5 inches or 3 inches each side, it's gonna really help to make it make it meet a bit better in the middle. Maybe not up here, but it will do down here along the chest, the bust area. And if it doesn't meet completely here, that's fine, because I was thinking of adding extra fur up here, making the fur thicker at the top, so I can figure something out with the chest area. But yeah, so I'm basically just continuing to unpick stitches. Super fun. So when I actually do this as well, I'm going to make the it's going to make the armhole bigger because I'll be adding extra fabric in. So I don't need to worry too much about the arm hole because the armhole was too small for me a little bit. Oh, I am ringing. Hello?
Hi, love. Oh, video paused.
One moment, sorry. I've just got to go into a different room because I'm streaming at the minute. Just give me a moment. No, you're all right. I'll go into a different room and I will mute it so they can't hear you. This is my mother, by the way, internet. No, it's all right. You're all right. Don't worry. There we go. So sorry about that. I had a call from Mother. She wanted to organise some get-togethers. Right, now I need to rearrange my blankets so that I get all the warmth back. Ugh. Ooh. Chilly, chilly, chilly. Right, so what were we doing? We were unpicking stitches. That's what we were doing. So we have a side seam and we are unpicking the side seam. That is all there is to it. That's all we're doing. Nothing too fancy of a thing. What I've decided to do is I'm not going to measure. Measuring is for the weak. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm not going to... Measuring is for the weak and also the people who know what they're doing. Or that... the people that are better at this than me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it as big as I can possibly make it with the fabric that I have, and having the shape that I wanted, the panel that I wanted, the panel shape. So I'm going to use as much of the fabric as possible for the side panels, and then stitch all those on. And if it needs to be taken in, and it's like it looks really bad, then I'll take it in. If it doesn't, then I'll just put a belt over it. Call it done. No, what in all seriousness, what I'll probably do. Hello, cat. Hello, Daisy. You know you're not supposed to be standing on. Yes, you're really helping. Thank you. Thank you. That really helps. Right. Okay. You can sit on my lap, I guess. You can sit down there. Right. You can sit there. Look. No. 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 I know you want to sit on the wall, but you're not to sit on the wall, okay? Sit on my lap instead. It's nicer. It's got a blanket. Oh, you are such a gremlin. You just came to ruin my day. That's what you did. You just come to ruin my work. She just wants to get involved, guys. She just wants to get involved. Right. Okay. So what we're doing is we're going to put the maximum amount of fabric that we can onto this. And then once that's done, if I need to make any adjustments, I will do that then. But I'm guessing that I probably won't. Because this is the kind of thing where if I need to, I can cross the coat over. It doesn't have to meet in the middle necessarily. And it's a bit more of a loosey-goosey kind of design thing. And the cat is pooping in the other room. That's what that strange noise is. That's her scraping around in the litter tray. Lovely. Okay. At least it's in the litter tray. Oh, it stinks. You got a stinky bum. Right. So. Oops. So, just basically I'm picking all the way down the side seam, like this part here, because I'm going to be adding a almost rectangle to the side. It's a rectangle that's going to get bigger at the bottom, basically. And I might try and make it so that it's a bit smaller in the waist area. So it's like slightly bigger in the top, slightly smaller in the waist, and then gets gradually bigger towards the bottom. But we'll see. It might just be easier to make it a rectangle, to be honest. And there should already be some shaping in this anyway, because it will have some. So I don't know. It may just help to just put an extra rectangle. Rectangles can be a good thing to use for garment construction, especially if it's sort of supposed to be an early garment, you know. Because people didn't have time back then to go around and measure things necessarily and spend time like doing an entire equation to get the exact amount of curve that they need for their body. They would probably drape it on themselves, if anything. Or they would just have it lace up so that it fits by lacings. So, almost there. Almost to the bottom. Bum 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 bum. Right, I'm gonna try and take these threads and put them in the same place so that it's easier to tidy up later. So it seems like this side seam is basically just a running stitch. Kind of. A running stitch. And then obviously they've it's a running stitch and then they've overlocked the edges. Which, unfortunately, I don't own an overlocker, so I won't be able to overlock anything. But you can kind of fake an overlocking if you're using a normal machine with you just use a zigzag stitch. Now, I was thinking of doing all this by hand, which is another option. I could just do it by hand and then do like a bunch of rows of stitches, and then you don't really need to overlock anything because everything's all stitched down. If that makes sense. But that will take a long time if I do that. So it's whether I want to. Oh, the label is coming off. It's got all the washing instructions. I should probably re-stitch this in Oh, it's made in Nepal. Interesting. Didn't realize they were made in Nepal. For some reason, I just assumed that they were made in Germany as well as, distributed from Germany. Because the company is German. But I guess they source their stuff from outside Germany. That would make sense because it would be cheaper. It would be quite expensive to make it in Germany. Yeah. So what I'll do is I will keep hold of the washing instructions label because I will probably reattach it just so that I have that. So what I'm going to do is that label is going to go in here so that I don't lose it. We have the Poopy Kitty. The Poopy Kitty is sitting on a chair. You're fine to stay there as long as you stay on the chair. No jumping on my wall, thank you. She's like, but you put it there for me, didn't you? It's there for me to sit on, right? Okay. Do 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 do. Okay. Well, I'm hoping that this will work. And look decent. We will see. As with most things, this is kind of an experiment because obviously I am altering rather than creating from scratch. So a bit of experimentation is probably the way to go. There isn't really any wrong answer when when what you're doing is basically taking something, ripping it apart, and then rebuilding it. I'm hoping as well that it will still have some of the essence of the original garment. That it won't lose too much of it because yeah, I don't want to just rip it all apart and just create something completely different out of the fabric. I want some of the original design to be in there. So the basic shape is going to be there still. It's just not going to have sleeves, and it's going to have extra embellishments and extra panels in the side. So we'll see. I need to figure out what colour I'm going to dye that cape because I've got this cream cape that I showed in the previous video thingy, the previous stream. It looked like it was going to be quite a short cape, but it's actually quite long. There's loads of fabric there. So, I'm not sure if I'm going to use the whole thing or if I'm going to shorten it and then use some of the fabric for something else. Because I could do that. I could use it to make some little cuffs or something, as I've gotten rid of the sleeves on this. That could be an option. But yeah, so I'm just going to have to concentrate a little bit because we are tearing this part open. There we go. So we have this part and this part completely separated from each other now. So there also are some, like, I don't know what you would call it with wool. In silk they call it slubs, where it's pulled out like that. I might have to just pull that to the back of the fabric because it's gonna annoy me that it's sticking out. How am I gonna do that though? Right, where was the needle? There we go. This is gonna be too thick for this, right? Yeah, that's not gonna work. I need to have a thick needle somewhere. So if I pull that through to the back, you shouldn't be able to see it. Hopefully it's not going to create too much of a hole in the fabric. I did a little bit, but it's not too bad. So yeah, just plunged that to the back because it's gonna make it look ugly otherwise if I left it. So and there's some other bits where it's like that, but it's not too bad. But it is now covered in little bits of thread from where I've unpicked everything, so I will have to pick all those off eventually. Eventually I'll get round to unpicking the whole thing. Right, so what we want is we want to attach a piece to this and then attach the other side of it to this, and then that will be a bit wider, and we want it to get wider at the bottom. And again, this is an experiment, so right, so we have a sleeve and we have another sleeve. So I think if I cut this so that it's slightly off center, like cut it that way, or cut it, if I put it in half like that and then kind of move it across so that one side is bigger than the other, because I want the top to be smaller than the bottom, if that makes sense. Doesn't matter if it's completely even. But then I will have to kind of make sure it's the same on both sides, somehow. And not eyeball it completely. Oh, but if I do that, yeah, no, it needs to be. I don't know. If I do like that, and then that will have to go there. Trying to figure it out with my brain box. It's not quite working. So this bit will go there, and then that bit will go at the bottom, right? Or if I do just a rectangle and then another rectangle but slightly getting bigger. So rectangle would be more like this. This might work better actually. Yeah, we'll not make things complicated for ourselves and try and reverse things. So I think if we're doing maybe like that, so that would be like that, maybe. Yeah. And then this will have to go like that. Something. Right. We have this. Or did we want to try and put a bit more? I was thinking 3 inches, so I think 3 of those squares is about an inch. Probably. Or a finger. Can use a finger like this. It's almost an inch. It's not exact. If you do that. Boom, boom, boom. And then add a bit more for seam allowance. What are you doing? Hey! What are you doing in there? Daisy! Out! Get off there! Get out of there! Get out of there! Get out of there! Off! Or just sit there, that's fine, I guess. I'm a soft touch. Right. Right. Yeah, I should double check the length. So it's only going to be to here. It's about as long as the cuff, I think. From there to there. Maybe with a little bit more for seam allowance. So Right. I'm still slightly tempted to use that, you know, the cuff. Because then I could use this entire amount for in the skirt to add the skirt more more volume. But I don't think it's gonna work if I do that. Because I'd have to gather it in somehow. Nah, it wouldn't work. It would look silly. So we'll put those over there for now. I really don't want to cut this. It's stressing me out. It's like really stressing me out. Because once you cut it, you can't go back and not and uncut it, you know? Please no circumcision jokes. Once you cut it, you can't uncut it. What? Gross. Gross myself out. Right. Not because I think that the reasons for that are gross, but because it's penises. Let's not talk about genitals. Right, so let's just do it. Let's just do it. I can't do it now, there's a cat. You're just a little baby, aren't you? Yes, you are. You're just a little baby. Right. I think we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. We'll just flat it out with fingies, and then we will start to cut along this kind of arbitrary line that we've given ourselves. I'm doing it. I'm cutting it. I'm cutting the fabric, guys. This may be a mistake, but we'll see. We definitely, certainly will see. And also, I'm sorry if it is really loud. But I can't help that much, really. Yeah. Okay. Right. So, I think we need to just double check. I've in fact made it like basically the same size as this, but I know that it's going to stretch better on this direction than on this direction. Actually, no, it's not really, to be honest. I think they actually use the same direction. Weird. So I could have just used that. I could have just used that. I could have just used the cuff, guys. I didn't check for stretch. Because stretch stretches more this way than this way. Well, we've done it now. We can at least make it a little bit longer, though. Because it wasn't quite long enough for what I wanted. And then this is going all the way down. Well, actually, no, it doesn't need to go all the way down. It can go across. Because we're just adding basically a sort of trapezoid kind of shape into the thing, like a godet kind of thing, but not a triangle, like a trapeze more shape, more of a trapeze shape. Right, it's fine. It's fine. We're doing something. We're doing something. We're getting something done. Right. So now we have this, and we have this. This is gonna be the top part of the thing, the panel, and it's gonna go like here from the underarm down, and that should add a bit of stuff, a bit of something. So that goes there, and then this part is the waist going down. So this needs to go in the middle, but also I need to have the same on the other side. So I'm just going to basically copy this onto the other sleeve. Because that's what we have to do. So other sleeve is here, and it seems like the sleeves were made really non-exact, to be honest. Because like the folds on these are in peculiar places. But that might just have been how it was pressed afterwards. Which, to be honest, I don't really do much pressing. Kill me, you know. I just don't like pressing things. I am lazy, and if I can get out of doing something, I will try and get out of doing it because I am lazy. And if it makes it look bad, so be it. Right, so I'm taking this, and basically we're using the other thing that we've just cut as like a pattern almost. Just placing it over the top and using it like a very, very rough pattern. So, and then this one, in order to make sure we've done the same thing, we kind of want to do the same. And it looks like they're almost the same, but not quite. Yeah, so this is we're going to follow the line down a bit and then go across so that it makes that lovely trapezoid shape. And I nearly cut into my laptop wire with my scissors then. That would have been bad. It would have probably gone bang, and everything would have been very scary. Certainly would be dramatic. Right, so I'm gonna cut across to this corner, like that, and put that piece over there. And then we have our two bottoms and our two tops. Sounds like a party. I'm terrible. I need to be stopped. Right, okay, so let's see. Right. Okay, that needs to go like this and then get stitched together. And then I need to also trim these down because there's a little bit of overlap there. Well, yeah, not overlap, like a bit sticking out, like. So it needs to be the same on both of them because otherwise it will not work. it will look uneven, basically. If you make one a lot bigger than the other one, then it's not gonna look, it's gonna shift to one side more, if that makes sense. And it just won't look nice, basically. So I'm just going to do a little, just going to do one of them like that. Just going to do a little one of them, and then I'm just going to do the same thing probably on the other side, I reckon, but just maybe a little bit smaller. There we go, one of them. And then we have this kind of a shape on both of them. So I've just realised what I've done. They need to be a mirror image, so they aren't. But we can fix that. Bye. Remember to flip it over, otherwise it won't match. Okay, right. Cat, you need to be stopped. You must be stopped. Oops. I just did a thing and now my screen has gone all funky. There we go. Non-funky screen now. Right. So let's line those up. And actually they're not too bad, and I can kind of fix that with how I'm stitching them. They're the same size anyway, it's just one's going one way and one's going the other way. They're just not exactly the same. They should be fine. Should be fine, I reckon. Right. That's for one. And that's for the other one. So we're gonna attach. We will attach a bottom to a top. Oh, I'm starting to get actually hungry now. That's good. That means I will eventually eat something. Right, so we will, if I'm going to hand sew this, which I might do, we need needle and we need a thread in a similar colour. The most similar colour I have on hand is this very bright red, which is not going to really work. Do we have any darker ones? We've got brown. I guess that can be a maybe. Got a very deep brown. That also could... I guess that would work more than that, actually. Or maybe that could work. We'll see. So one of those. Because that is just going to show up too much. If you've got a bright thread on a dark fabric, it will always show up more than a darker thread, if that makes sense. So you generally want to go darker. I think I'm just going to use this one because I think this is more similar than that other one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to just basically tack everything together and sew it in place. And then I will see if I like how the fit is. And if I like how the fit is, then I will continue on with doing some Sachiko down the sides. I think that's what I'm going to do. So Sachiko is really good for disguising all kinds of stitching problems. because it's designed so that you can see it, and it just adds texture. The more stitches you put into it, the better, because it adds texture. So, for somebody who sometimes can be a messy stitcher, it can be a good one. And this is slightly annoying me, so I'm going to try and do it from the middle. There we go. Teeny tiny little eye of the needle there. Right, I might actually double this over because it's wool, so I just want to make sure it's a strong enough thread that it's not gonna mess up too much. There we go. So I'm doubling over the thread. One thing you can do when you're checking to see if the thread's going to show up is to lay it over the garment. And I can tell that it is going to show up a little bit, but if I'm careful with my stitching later, my Sachiko, it's going to disguise it a little bit. And it shouldn't look too bad. It's and I don't know how colour fast this material is, so it may be that the fabric will dye the thread a little bit as well, which in this case would be a good thing, whereas normally if it's not colour fast, that is a very bad thing. It would be the non-colour fastness working in my favour at that point. So I'm just going to attach these two pieces of fabric together. And I'm just going to basically turn them into one panel. And in order to do that, I'm going to start off doing like a running stitch or maybe a back stitch, possibly. Or I could do a running stitch and then do a blanket stitch over the edges. I could do that. Depends. I might just do a back stitch. Not sure. Let's see. What do we think? What are you saying to me today, fabric? Speak to me. Okay, I think we're going to do back stitch. I think that's what we're going to do, because I think that's going to make our lives a little bit easier. Yeah, because we can hold everything a bit more tightly together. So I'm going to do a back stitch along this line here. And I've just realised as well that what I'm going to probably have to do is find a way to make this seam flat. I might have to whip the seam edges down just so that they're flat, just so I don't end up with bulk randomly at the sides from this this join, because there won't be any other joins in that same area going horizontally, so it may look a little bit strange if I don't flat them out. So just doing this very quickly indeed. And I did say I was going to tack this together, but that was a lie, because I think it would be better just to attach it properly, and then if it's not good enough, I can undo it. Again with the stitch unpicker, and it will take only slightly more time than tacking it. And then I don't have to stitch over it twice basically. And this is, I'm not like being super fastidious with this. It's not like I'm doing teeny tiny little baby stitches. I'm not doing it to like a Victorian standard or something. Like I'm just doing it so that they're attached, and then yeah, that's that basically. I could go over it twice. That would help a little bit with making sure everything was secured, but I don't want to at this point. And also, I've not even bothered to put a thimble on. I normally sew using a thimble, but I'm not. I think I have one somewhere around here actually. I'm not sure where I would have put it, if that is the case. Not sure. So, no thimble for me, so my fingers may start to hurt after a while. But, sorry, future me. Yeah, okay, so that's that basically attached to itself, attached to its other piece. Right, and then I'm just going to do a couple of extra stitches to secure thread, like so. Just check on the yeah, so I will have to flatten this down like so. I've just pressed it down with my fingers for now, but I will stitch that down. I'm going to whip it down because it will create bulk otherwise, and I'd rather it didn't because it's the waist area, so you want it to be nice and, you know, nice and flat if at all possible. So basically just going to whip it down, whip it real good. And again, I'm not being like super fastidious with this, as I like to say. Not being super careful because it's the inside, it's only going to be me that sees it, and you'll have the occasional stitch visible from the front, but I'm thinking I'm going to cover this all in decorative stitching anyway, so none of that is going to be visible. So I could, of course, be doing all of this with a machine. And in fact, there is a machine sitting next to me on the floor, which I have decided not to use for this project because even even though there is a time constraint, like I have a deadline for this, I think I will enjoy sewing this more if I do it all by hand, because I really like the feeling of sewing things by hand. It just feels very calming. And I didn't actually pick all of the loose threads from this before, so it's actually covered in loose threads, so I need to sort that out at some stage. I'm probably going to just be finding loose threads all over it for months, but there we go. So I'm just carefully whipping it down. And to be honest, you can't really see the stitches from the front all that much. You can see them a little bit, but not much. But just whipping it down is absolutely necessary for this kind of thing, because if I didn't do it, all that bulk would be just sticking into my tummy and then poking out. You know, that's like the area where you want it to be as smooth as possible, really. Like the line of your, where you want the line of your outfit to be smoother is the waist. Yes, hello. Have you come to help? You wanted to put your little paws on this. Is that what it is? Is it nice and warm on your paws? Is that what it is? Okay. Could you maybe not? Could you maybe not? Okay. Could you maybe not do that? Thank you. Are you helping? You helping? Okay, you're helping. I've got a sharp needle here. You do not want that to go near you. It's going to be hurty if you get that on you. No. Do not rub against the sharp needle with your face. Thank you. Be careful, please. Be careful. No. No rub the needle. Needle sharp. Danger. Also, you're getting stuff stuck to you. So this is Daisy. Anyway, she is a pester and a pain, but we love her. Begrudgingly. And she just loves fuss. She wants all the attention all the time. All the attention all the time. Don't you? You want it all. Yes. You want all the snuggles and the belly rubs when we are doing other things. Like, what could you possibly be doing that is more important than giving me attention and possibly food? Stop it at once. That's what you're like, isn't it, madam? Oh, my tummy is rumbling, actually. I should probably think about dinner for myself. Your dinner's down there, madam. I don't know what you're wanting things from me for. What you're fussing at me for. You just wanted to be included. She just likes to be near you, which is quite sweet, to be honest. Right, I'm doing this wrong. I'm not doing a whip stitch here. I'm doing something else. Got distracted by the cat, you see. This is slightly frayed as well, this part, so I need to go in a bit further so it's not the most neat of whip stitches. Hey, no. But again, it doesn't need to be neat, it just needs to be flat-ish. Oops. Have to be careful as well not to pull it too much, because you may rumple up the fabric a bit too much if you do that. Right. You're kind of in the way there, madam. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage. You look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two. Right. Ah! No! Sharp! Needles are sharp, cat. You do not want to rub your face against them. Silly Daisy. Oh, I've got rumblies in my tumblies, as Winnie the Pooh would say. Did you not? She's like, I would like your attention, please. I would like your attention, please. Now. You can start giving me the attention whenever you're ready, as long as it is now. Right. So I have felled the seam down. Whipped it down, rather. And then what I do is I just plunge the threads kind of into the seam. And now I am trimming that thread. Oh. Remember, when trimming your thread, you need to trim both sides. If you've got a double. Right, so now it's relatively decently attached. There is a slight gap, however, I don't know if you can see that. There's you can see the light through the gap. One way to disguise that would be I could put like a embellishment at the waist, possibly. That could be an option. Or I could do some extra stitches to just make sure it's attached well enough. Right, my darling, you're gonna have to move, I'm afraid, because you're very much in the way. I'm so sorry. I know, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to go on the floor, though. Bye-bye. There we go. Right. Oh, my tummy's rumbling. I need to eat things. Right, so let's see if this is long enough. Hopefully we didn't mess up, and this is gonna be enough fabric for the whole of the length, and then I don't have to cut any more or worry about adding something to the bottom or anything like that, because I don't want to have to do maths or complicated stuff. Right, so this is this the front? This is the front. This is the front. And this needs to go like that. And if I'm adding that to that, I need some for a seam. So that needs to go like that kind of thing. And then, oh no! Look how much space, look how much we don't have. This much. So I would have to trim some from the bottom, it looks like. So it looks unavoidable that I'm going to lose probably about 6 inches from the bottom. That's a shame. Unless I again add some piecing to the bottom, which I possibly could do. I do have some more fabric here, but it's only like a tiny bit. Well, I could add the that. I could add these. In fact, I could I could be really cheeky and add them into the top like that. That then I would be going out in out, so I'd have to trim this down a little bit more this way, which would make this a little bit counterproductive. If I attach this to the bottom, I will get an extra couple of inches at the bottom. So how much would I be losing? Let's see. So I need to put that up a bit, and then this. I wouldn't be losing that much if I did that. And I think that would be less obvious than having an extra seam somewhere up here, an extra bit of piecing. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I will add the sleeve cuff, to the bottom of this little panel that I made. So we'll do that. And we're going to use basically the same technique, I guess, as we did before. So this and this need to attach. I may have to flatten the edge of this out slightly just to make it easier. To add in this, yeah, because it's easier to attach two straight edges together than a straight edge to a curved edge. I'm going to do like that because then I can fold that in. Yep, that's how I'm going to do it. In fact, I might do that because then I will be able to use that somewhere if needed, but probably won't, but we'll see. So So now we will attach these with their backs together like that, and we will use the same method of hand stitching. So we need more thread, like so. We will double it over. And I think I will, instead of doing this very flat seam on this one, I think I might, should I use it to do a roll? No, I will do the same seam, because if I roll it up like that seam that we did, that I showed you before, that's like this, basically the fabrics are rolled over each other like this. If I use that method, I'm gonna lose more fabric length, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take the thread that I just cut, pass it through the eye of a needle, which needs a piece of thread removed from it, actually. Hey, get out of there. Come on, get out of it. There we go. So I will pass it through the eye of the needle and pass the needle through the loop to secure it, and that makes it a double. And then I will attach these together. In fact, I could attach it more in the middle so then I can have a little bit more width at the bottom. No, we'll do like that, I guess. No, we will do that. And then we can. How much width would we even get though? It would look maybe slightly odd. I can do it slightly. And do a slight angle on it. Right, okay, so now we are leaving enough space for some hemmage to come down. Oh, that didn't work. Hemmage. We will put a stitch in at the corner. We will put a teeny weeny little knot in this thread, and we will go through the thread like so, and then that will hold it in position. It doesn't look particularly neat when it's there, but you can either plunge the ends if you like to do that, or you can just sew the hem over it. Make sure that they're all tucked in nice and neat so you can't see them, and then nobody will know your shame that there is a loose thread in there somewhere. There you go. I'm gonna just backstitch the way across. I'm not being super careful because I don't believe that people would have been all that careful necessarily, unless they have really nothing better to do with their time than stitch super carefully. I don't think people would necessarily spend a lot of time on, this neatness of the stitches that are not meant to be seen necessarily. So I'll bring you down a little bit so you can see a bit better what I'm doing. So basically, as you're stitching, to do a back stitch, if you don't know what a back stitch is, you got your thread here. You go in just before the thread and out behind the thread. Yeah. And then your needle goes back in just before the thread and comes out behind the thread. And the stitch is going backwards, and that's why it's called a back stitch. So in and across, in and across, and there we go. And your stitches in the back kind of overlap each other like that. I don't know if you can even see that, because I tried to choose color thread that matches a little bit with the fabric. It probably will show up in the sunlight better, better than this artificial light. In the sunlight, it will probably show up a lot. Hopefully not, but we'll see. We'll see. I think this thread is more of a brown than the fabric. The fabric is like a burgundy red colour, and the thread is like a brown. I probably do have some threads that match a little bit better, but I don't have time to start rummaging for them. So I just brought a bag of threads downstairs with me when I started work on this. So I probably won't be streaming for very long because I was at work earlier and I'm tired. But at least it's making me somewhat accountable that I need to at least start the project. Because I'm later than everybody else who has already started theirs, and there's a lot of people who have some nice looking, almost finished garments already. So we need to buck our ideas up and start moving at a pace if we want to actually compete and have a finished garment. I'm hoping I'll have both things finished by that point. We'll see. I seem to be getting higher and higher up on this thing, and that is not good because it will mean that it's wonky, and also my hem will be too small, so I need to come a bit down on here. Just so that it doesn't look stupid. Okay. So yeah, just coming before the thread and coming out after the thread. And then the thread that's sticking out now, you just put your needle in before the thread, and so that it comes out after the thread. and that's how we do a back stitch. Are you comfy on there? Oh, the cat has found somewhere comfortable to sit that isn't on my sewing, which is good. I have a feeling that I'm going to run out of thread soon, which might be annoying. It should be fine, I think, when I sew the edges down. Right, so I'm just going to trim this down, like so. And then this, I'm going to trim it so that it goes in that direction. And you just want to make sure it follows the actual line of the other piece. You don't want to make it suddenly flare out. You want it to be a very gradual flare, if there's any flare at all in the piece that you're doing. So we just continued the same line basically. It doesn't have to be perfect as long as it's easy and as long as it's the right sort of size and you can kind of pull things in when you're doing the seams, if that makes sense, to make it the right shape. Right, so this seam I'm just going to flat it out with my fingers like this. I could iron it out, I could press it, and in fact I probably should press it because it would give a better finish that way. But am I going to? No. I'm just going to press it with my fingers, which I think is it's a form of pressing it. It's not pressing it properly. It's not pressing it with heat. But it will kind of help to pull the fibers in that position, kind of. And I'm gonna turn it over. And I'm going to push it from this side as well, like that, with my thumb. It's like the lazy way to press, basically. You can kind of get away with it with wool because wool is quite structural anyway, so kind of like paper. If you fold paper, it's going to keep the crease. If you fold wool, it probably will crease it, even if you don't put heat on it. So the act of doing that has kind of pressed it a little bit, but now it just needs whipped down. So that's what we will do. And then we will attach this piece to the gap in which it is going to be living. And then we will do the other side, and we will try it on, and then we'll see what we think, if I've messed it up or not. Hopefully I've not messed this up, and hopefully it looks fine. We will see. I mean, thankfully I'm working with a very forgiving fabric. Wool is pretty forgiving to work with. If it was something like silk, that would be a different matter. Right. I'm going to move this up a little bit more again so you can see my face a bit better. Because I'm sure you all want to see that. Right, let's see. Oh, the blanket's falling down. Right. It is chilly these days. Very chilly. Right. So I'm going to make a stitch, and I'm going to make sure that the ends of my thread are tied together in a loop, like so. And then I put the needle through the loop, and I pull the thread through itself, kind of thing, and then it makes a little knot. It's not the most neat way of doing things, but that's all going to be hidden in a moment. And when you're doing this kind of thing, there's no real need to use pins. Just hold things and manipulate the fabric with your fingers a little bit. Obviously you don't want to like mess with the fabric too much, because the more you touch it, the more it becomes like a used fabric, if that makes sense. So in some ways you've got to be careful with it, but if you're very particular with how you're holding the fabric, you can hold just the bit that you need to hold it into place and not mess with the other bits. So I'm just basically, when I'm doing this, I'm taking the tiniest bit of threads or fabric from the front. Well, from the back of the front, if that makes sense, from the back of the fabric, and then securing the seam down onto it. So it shouldn't be all that visible from the front because you're not taking that many threads, and you're kind of taking threads that are in the back of the fabric, not the front. So it shouldn't show up too much. The only problem is that this seam is fraying a little bit. So ideally I should have had enough fabric to where I could overlock the edges of that somehow. But we are kind of piecing at this point, at this stage. We're piecing together things on here. Oh, I've just made a massive stitch. That may be slightly visible. Whoops. I'm not all that bothered if the occasional stitch is visible. That's at the bottom of the garment anyway, so... Do 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 do. Occasionally you're just going to want to press it. You can even actually hit it with a hammer or a mallet, just to bash it into shape that you need it to be, and that also works. So basically, once these seams are felled, I can do one of two things. I can either do the other panels for the other panel, or I can attach this panel, see how it fits, and then do the other panels. So we can do either of those things. What I might do is I might try pinning them in place and just putting one side on and seeing where that side will fit me. Because if it fits decently, then I know it's gonna work. My my botching is going to work. There's no reason why it shouldn't work, to be honest. It's just adding a panel, pieced out of several smaller panels, but there's no reason why it shouldn't work. It's just whether I've gotten the shape of the panel right, for it to actually give me the shape that I need. I think I hear Jacob, or possibly a Patrick, not sure. It's a someone. Okay. Okay. Somebody's got the sniffles. Hello. Got a bit of a cold. I said, have you got a bit of a cold?
It's a bit cold.
No, have you got a cold? You're sniffling.
No, just because it's cold outside.
Well, when You have a poll saying it's a bit cold, then it must be cold. Yeah, experts on the cold.
It's not extremely cold, but it's yeah.
You have experience of the cold, so I will trust what you say and say that it's probably too cold for me.
Yeah, it might be.
Okay. So I've plunged my thread into it. So this is what the seam looks like on the inside. So this, I don't know if you can quite see. If I get it to the light somehow, like this. Oh, that might work a bit better. So basically, it's the two pieces stuck together, and then you fold out the seam pieces like you're opening a book. and then you sew the edges down onto themselves so that it doesn't give too much bulk. You do end up with some little gaps when you use this, and this one has more gaps than the other one if you don't use like really small stitches, but that's okay for these purposes. It's fine. So I can either tack this down I can work on the next one, the next thing. I'm not going to lose too much off the bottom actually. So yeah, I can either do that or I can what else can I do? Yeah, those are my options basically. I can either assemble the other panel like I've done here, or I can do the attaching of this one and check if it's going to work. I think it should work. I think it should work. It feels like it would work. I am leaning though. I probably shouldn't lean. I need to make sure that when I'm doing my seam, I give about that much of seam. Like that. And then that should reach my waist. Should. Well, actually it goes past my waist, to be honest. Yeah, if I want it on my waist, I would have to make it shorter at the top. It would have to be like that. But that's okay. So maybe I should have cut a little bit more in here to give it shaping in the waist, because the waist is going to be about here. Not here. This is the hips. Right? Right? Is that right? I'm trying to like drape it on my body, and that's not a good, accurate way of doing things at all. Ah! I'm sure it'll be fine. Probably not. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what it'll be like. We'll see what it'll be like. Right, so this. I think I want this to be like the back and that to be the front, maybe? Maybe? Or do I want that to be... No, that wants to be the front part. So, which am I actually on? Which side am I actually on? Yeah, so it should be fine if I attach this one. Like so. Stitch down there, and then I'll get to about here. So it's going to be like, if I imagine that that's folded over, I'm going to lose about 3 inches off the bottom. I think what I should do is I should unpick this completely, because for some reason I left this partially sewn in. I think I was thinking, oh, that means I won't have to sew that bit. But of course it doesn't mean that at all. Because you need to make sure everything else is attached to it correctly. Also, all this big long thread needs to go into the trash. Right. So basically we want this to follow this line, and I think I'm going to try pinning these. I don't have many pins at my disposal right now, but we can find some. I think there should be some around here somewhere. Pins, pins, pins. Pins, pins, pins. I think there are some pins in here. And then to put them away though, there's exactly 3 pins. We do have some other pins upstairs, but they're upstairs. So, yeah. Right. Right. So that's that, and then this bit will be here, like that. Oh, of course I'm sticking the pins upwards towards my armpits. When I put that on, it's going to jab me. That's really clever. Right, let's not do that. Yeah, don't stab yourself in the armpits, guys. It's not a good move. We don't have a pin, but we do have a needle. I can use this. Use a needle. And then we will just very carefully put this over. She says as she wrenches everything all over the place. Okay. Initially, it's looking pretty good. Let's see, two. But look, this actually reaches halfway across my chest now. So that is a good amount. Right, let's just going to make sure that this is more or less accurate. Take this needle and do further up here, just in case that was making it inaccurate because there was a big hole in the middle. Yeah, no, I think this is going to work. I think if I add any fur at all, I don't even need to add very much. Oh, really? Really? Is that so? You've got food there. You didn't eat your food. You didn't eat your food. I know. I know. Is it not good enough? Is that what it is? Where's the other needle? Not needle, pin. Okay. So I'm taking the pins out just because I am going to use the same methods as I was doing before when I was sewing before, which is a non-pin using method. Basically, I'm using my fingers as the pins, kind of, if that makes sense. Probably not. That goes that way. And then this goes in here, and then that goes in there, and then I'll put this away. Okay, alright. Well, I'm going to make a very, very quick bathroom break and possibly bring some food and maybe feed the cat something because she's pestering me. So I will have a break and I'll be back very shortly. Bye. Okay, so I am back. I haven't eaten yet, but my food is heating up in the microwave. So I thought I'd come and sit down at least and kind of maybe begin slightly with this. So I guess I'll do, should I do the front first or the back? I could do the back first. No, I'll do the front first, I think, because if I have to adjust things towards the back, it will be better than adjusting it towards the front, if that makes sense, because you can see the front more. Yeah, so basically I'm just attaching this to this, like so. And when you're doing this, you will end up with the armhole will be coming in at an angle. Don't worry about that. Just don't worry about it. Just let it be in an angle. Because when you go to turn the hem, you will be able to kind of ooch it round and kind of make it not wonky in the arm area. Hello? Can I help you? I don't have anything here for you, you know. Oh, she's just trying to get over there. Okay. You got itchies? Is the collar not comfy? Collar's itching you. I don't think that collar's very good. I think we need to get a different one because it's frayed all over. It was just a new one to replace the one she had when we got her, because the one she had on when we got her was covered in like these little rhinestones, but they were all falling off and I was worried that she might like choke on one of them or something. And yeah, no, we don't want our kitties to choke. Ouch. That is my food. I'm just going to quickly thread this needle, and then I will go and sort that out. There we go, threaded, and needle is on the thread. I'll be back in a second. Okay. So, whew. So we will basically position this so it's flat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go up towards the armpit and then go back down again. Much in the same way that you do with a sewing machine. Just going back over yourself just to secure everything a little bit more. So my first oh that also would help if I tied a knot in the end. So tie a knot in the end. Oh, that's my food anyway. Well, I'll at least attach my needle to the fabric. Like so. Okay, there we are. So I'm going to eat my food, which I'm going to put here. So, sorry if you don't like food being eaten. I know a lot of people don't like the sound of food and mouths. To be honest, I can't say that I'm the biggest fan of it myself. Never really liked that. But, oops, sorry. Just attacked the cat with a blanket. Right. She's eating her dinner now. I put the tiniest bit of ham in it for her because she wasn't eating it. And now she's eating the whole lot. So, if you're wondering what I'm eating, it's just microwave chips with cheese on top. It's super balanced and healthy meal. But I really don't have the energy to do anything more than put something in a microwave right now, so. There we go. So I'm eating this, and then I will try and get this, at least one side of this finished. And then I think the other side I might finish off stream. And then I will probably come back on tomorrow and do some fur. Add some fur. It's not real fur. I do work with real fur sometimes, but I'm very particular about what fur I use because, well, there are multiple reasons why you wouldn't want to necessarily use fur. However, if I buy fur of any kind, if it's fake fur, I don't buy fake fur new because it's very, very bad for the environment. I only ever buy fake fur secondhand, and I buy real fur either secondhand or if it's from like a cull, if there's you know, they've had to colour an animal because in that area there's too many of them and it's becoming a danger to the other animals in that area. You know, like they're becoming a pest or something. Basically, if there's so many that it's affecting the what do they call it? The ecosystem in the area, or if it's from things that are farmed responsibly. Mostly, my issues are around environment rather than animal cruelty. Obviously, I'm not for animal cruelty because that's insane, but I'm more on the side of I want to make sure at least everything that I'm using is as eco-friendly as I can be, because we only get one planet. We don't get another one after this one gets broken. So yeah, I don't really particularly like fake leather because again it's all plastic. Bad for the environment. So if I was to use fake leather, I would not buy it new, I would only buy it secondhand. To be honest, a lot of the materials I use in my crafting anyway are secondhand. I use a lot of reclaimed stuff from furniture factories because I've worked in them. We have tons of leather from leather sofas that basically they had a tiny mark on them, so it makes them unable to sell it. So either they throw the whole sofa out or we can take the leather. So we took the leather. So we've got piles and piles of the stuff. Very wasteful industry, furniture making. Oh well.
What are you doing?
I was streaming, sewing, but then I got hungry, so I'm eating.
So now you're streaming eating.
So now I'm streaming myself eating a box of chips, yeah. It's not weird, honest.
Oh yeah.
As you're blocking the access, could you feed the cat?
She's got some still in there,
How much?
but a little bit. I put it on top or I throw
Put
away.
on top. Put on top. If she doesn't eat it in the morning, I'll be cleaning it anyway, because I clean it every couple of days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because she just ate some of what was in there. There was more in there before.
But I know, because I put them in the morning
Yeah.
today.
Don't you do it.
Because that doesn't overeat. She only eats what
I know,
what
she
wants,
doesn't eat
yeah.
loads. There you go. It's down there. Garbage. There you go. Garbage for you. No? Okay then. I make bigger.
Bigger.
I make bigger. Scunchies. Ooh, shiny. Skip. Let me see. No, don't use that. Don't use that.
It's fine.
Ooh, shiny.
That's the 6 of them, yeah? They even got spools. Look, they even got the nets to go over them so they go.
Yeah.
And empty spools. 2 only, but empty spools. Yeah?
I'll probably just keep them on these.
No, but for bottoms. Like if you go from up and top, isn't it? Oh no, you're not gonna use machines.
No.
Yeah, but that means we'll have spare for machine.
Mm.
The sewing machine, yeah? You wanted to look at those, did you?
I did. Ooh, very shiny. I like the rainbow one.
That's the handed needle.
Oh, there's many needles. Let me see. Yeah, those are good for embroideries. For some embroideries. Oops.
Oh, that's coming out.
Very nice.
That
Very
opened.
nice, very nice. Can I give this back to you to put
Yes.
away?
A moment. It was sliding out. 28 needles.
Ooh. Ooh. Actually, are those ones long? In the back.
Wow.
Oh, those would be good for Sashiko. That's nice.
The thick one.
I think this is passing. I think that's what they call it, passing.
Even for now, if you wanted to use some of the different ones, yeah?
I got some proper metal ones.
No, but I'm saying for now, when you're
As
doing
well.
stuff. Yeah? Because they're all fabric scissors.
I got fabric scissors.
Yeah, but if you want a smaller one,
No, not right now.
for something else. All came in yesterday.
I don't know what I was doing with that. That way. Wait, like that. There we go, that'll do. I've got a chip in my mouth. Ew. Ew. I show the internet that I am disgusting. Ow! I just pricked myself. Right. Ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
Are the new lights better?
No lights? Oh, yes. Much better.
It's like as well a lot brighter, aren't they? Than the
Yeah.
previous
They're
ones.
not flickering. They don't give me a headache.
But like they're generally as well brighter than the other one, because the other one was more yellowish, wasn't it?
Mm.
The previous lamps.
Right, so I've gone up. And now I'm going to basically go back the way I came. Do, do. Oh, let's just rearrange the fabric how it needs to be. Excuse you. So you said the work was a bit rubbish.
Yeah. Start of the work was very slow because both of the machines that are only running. One had a problem with the tool because the tool crashed. It was making like double sync.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so one of the sync fingers, was not hiding back down.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the
Okay.
two tools hitting on it like so that took him over 3 hours. From which an hour on another shift as well.
Oh, that's rubbish then.
And the other one, the press didn't want to go down because there was a fault. I think the forklift driver hit the light guard,
Oh.
bended it.
Oh, so it's like a laser thing.
Yeah,
And
yes,
yeah, so it can
yes,
see
yes. So the press thought
that something's there.
Constantly the way, yeah. Well, I picked up later. It was fine later. Yeah.
At least that then.
You know the coffee mug thingy somewhere. I don't know, next to the thermoses or something.
Yeah, just put the.
I'm gonna do dishes now.
Okay.
It's a good idea from Fat, isn't it? Come back from work afternoon and just do dishes.
Yeah.
Why do I need to wait leave it for the morning and then we'll do both? Well, both shopping and dishes. Yeah. Oh. This will have more time.
That's what I did yesterday, but not yesterday.
Yeah,
I did when I did the dishes. I did it before bed,
Yeah.
kind of thing. A couple of days ago, when it was my turn.
You go to the shop in the morning. Do you want anything from the shop? You could have microwave chips. Or did you make it?
There's still some left. Could you get me a cinnamon bun? I quite fancy one.
No
yeah.
If not, I'll pick up a garnish. I may pick up some more pasta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to stop soon because my back's starting to hurt me.
It's after 10 now. Oh yeah, I'll pick up some pasta. And I think I'll defrost the ham.
Mhm.
At least a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we have a whole container of ham. I'll make a pasta ham. How's the mushrooms? Pasta ham bake. That'll be okay for a bake. Yeah.
Mhm.
Get some sauce. Yeah. Get some sauce. Make some pasta ham bake. And you can check which light bulb is in here because I don't remember. I'll pick up a light bulb. Any other wishes from the shop?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
So I don't have to wake up in the morning.
You got butter, didn't you?
Yes.
When you.
I got butter. I think it was the other day, was it? Other ham as well. Oh. What? Should make it a face now.
I don't know. What's I thinking? I don't know. I don't know.
There's still time to think about it.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll be doing. Christmas like tomorrow.
Yeah. Are you talking to the cat?
Look what she's doing. She sat next to the.
It sounded like you were putting a funny voice on.
No, same Daisy.
Oh, I thought you were
I found
making
that-
a voodoo voodoo sound like that to the cat.
What was the...
It
I don't do it to the dogs either. Do it.
sounded like that's what you were doing.
No, I can ask, but like I don't do the voice. If you know what I mean.
Mhm.
I was saying.
You were saying about shopping.
No, not just that. I found a meme thingy from a tweet from a girl saying that was it for an hour or something. She was meowing back at her cat,
Yeah.
and then she found out it was just her and her dad meowing at each other from different rooms.
I like that story. That's funny.
Very wholesome.
Just meowing at each other. Meanwhile, the cat's not even in the house. Or just like going, what the heck are they talking about? They're talking a load of gibberish. They don't speak cat. Silly humans.
Yeah, I need to change the light bulb so I can see. I'll do it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, the one in the
Yeah.
thing. There is a dead spider in there, by the way.
I
So
think it was definitely one.
yeah, I know. Just don't get spooked by it
Mm.
falling on your face.
Those dome thingies always have a lot of dead bugs.
I know. I think I will finish soon because there's nobody watching anyway.
Will they give you a fork?
Thank you. I'm not sure if there might be a cup upstairs.
It's not, I checked.
Oh. Well done. So I'm getting to the end of my thread, but coincidentally, I'm also getting to the bit where I have a seam here, so I can plunge the thread into the seam, hopefully, and that should end up looking a little bit better. Once I get there. Ouch. So I've just kind of plunged it towards this part. I'm just trimming it on this side. Probably have to go over these stitches maybe again just here because it's not the most even. Try to come in a little bit where my waist would be. And this is all going to be, I think, probably folded over to this side. When I do it. So to go further down. Like this. And this needs to go that way, and this need to touch, like so. We can get it to sit a bit nicer. Look at that.
You want a warm drink though?
Oh, that would be nice. Thank you. Decaf tea.
Dick of tea.
Yes, a dick of tea. Decaf. Put the ends together and put the thread through the needle. Oh, I appear to be bleeding. When did that happen?
Probably when you stabbed yourself last time. Remember?
Yeah, but it's in a different place. I don't even remember stabbing myself on that finger. I stabbed myself on a different finger.
With your finger condoms.
I don't like to use the rubber ones.
No.
No, I like to use thimbles, but I couldn't be bothered to look for a thimble.
That's not as comfortable with thimbles either, isn't it?
I like a thimble. A metal one or a leather one, I like. I just don't like the rubber ones because they make your fingers sweaty and they don't really work.
Oh yeah, you push hard enough, they're going to stab anyway.
Yeah, they don't work because you can't get purchase on them with the needle. Right. So we're going to do this. And we're going to backstitch. Again. We're going to to this. For if I'm hand sewing for an actual garment like this, like actually attaching it with hand sewing rather than doing it by machine, I like to use a backstitch because it's a bit more sturdy.
I'm back on my winter to-go warm drink. Borscht.
You can keep it.
Nothing warms you up better than borscht. Well, maybe chicken soup. Yeah?
I like chicken soup. I'll take the chicken soup. Thank you. Yeah, I wish I liked it, but I don't like beetroot. It's disgusting.
You like beetroot in chocolate cake?
Yeah, but you can't really taste it. Maybe I'd like it if the borscht had chocolate in it.
I think you liked. Remember when I did the roasted beetroots with
I don't know if I did.
in a sauce and with liver?
Maybe.
Yeah, you ate it.
Maybe. I don't usually like beetroot. It makes me vom. Like, even the smell of it makes me kind of gag.
Maybe because you couldn't smell it because you know.
Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, because it's like a olfactory sense thing, isn't it? Maybe if I can't smell it, it's not as bad.
I like it.
It's disgusting.
See, the thing is, when I was a child, I didn't like beetroot, but I liked the borscht.
Mm.
Yeah, that was weird. At the same time, you don't like tomatoes, but you like ketchup and tomato sauce.
No, I don't like ketchup.
Yeah, but it's still tomato sauce.
I don't like ketchup. I like things that have tomatoes in them, like a pasta sauce.
No, what I'm saying, ketchup is nothing else than just tomato sauce.
Yeah, but I don't like ketchup really. It's too sugary. If I was gonna like use a sauce, homemade one would probably be alright.
Yeah.
I'd just rather have like mayonnaise with some spice or something.
I was laughing at the polish of this, you know, like those sauces in the tub, like mayo or garlic mayo, yeah.
Mhm.
And they had, like you have those sauce of Thousand Islands.
Yeah.
As well called the pizza sauce.
Yeah.
And hamburger sauce, like from America.
Yeah.
They're both the same thing.
Yeah.
It's mayo with ketchup. You just one of them has slightly different spices I added to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You Polish take your condiments very seriously, don't you?
No, I was laughing when I was washing the, thingies in the restaurant, yeah?
Yeah.
They would take a big tub of mayo and ketchup and then divide it into a different tub and add the spices to make a different sauce.
Yeah.
That's literally the same fucking thing. As well, look, before you met me, you didn't know it's good to add a bit of mustard to tuna mayo.
Mm.
Alright? That changes it as well, does it? We have to admit.
No, I think I made this too long.
I'll be honest with you, it seems like there's more stuff.
It do be like that sometimes.
Hey, I better this way than the other. Okay?
Yeah. I had so much to do today.
Did you?
Yeah. Busy day.
This went quick.
Yeah, kinda. Ooh. What's going on? My computer's doing a thing. Oh, it's Discord trying to activate. Why are you trying to activate? Go away. Go away, Discord. There we go. Oh. Oh. Something went wrong displaying the web page. We may get my own voice here. No, that's fine. Good.
Oh, I was thinking, you need to call your sister
Do I?
and ask her if Rosie's using a tablet.
She does, yes.
Because the entertainer has games.
Yes.
You buy a game for the tablet.
Yeah.
And it's more of a it's like a plastic thingy. And you plug the tablet into it.
Oh, okay.
So for example, you have something like this. It makes it like a laptop. And there's like a whole row in the bottom. And you, for example, plug in the cow. And the application, you're feeding the cow, like in a farmer game.
Oh.
It's like, educational games.
Yeah.
Or for example, dinosaurs and stuff. There's like, for example, adventure. Well, I'll show you later.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Might be a little bit young for her.
No, that's what I'm saying. They have for different ages.
Oh, right, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like the whole adventure one and like puzzle thingies with the dinosaurs, maybe a bit too young. But the one that you have like literally only a couple of farm animals and you only plug them in so they eat them or you do something to them. Maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's good to look at it and then read the reviews.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something, like one entertaining and two, It's not like, when we were younger people said, oh, don't buy kids games, don't let them,
It's poisoning their minds. Yeah, but you get like 5 minutes of breather.
For example, wasting time
Yeah.
on video games. Yeah?
Yeah, it's
When
like
it's proven under control. Yeah?
Reduces stress.
It's not just that. We'll learn quicker, isn't it?
Yeah.
And as well.
And everybody in their life has to use a computer at some point.
So, now, yes.
Yeah.
Previously, it wasn't as, as common, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When we were younger. But as well, they've proven since then, that kids playing video games, specific video games as well, yeah? Learn quicker. For example, make decision quicker and stuff like this.
Yeah.
So it's not just,
As long as it's a balance between that kind of thing and then actually learning from real people. Yeah. You have to have a balance and everything.
Like those farmer clicky games on Facebook that you learn nothing.
Yeah.
People learn more on some of the older shooter games than anything else. Or like quick decision making, yeah? Orientation.
Mm-hmm. By the way, if you're wondering about the cup, it's Cthulhu. Jacob made it. I was showing the internet the cup.
Oh.
Not that there's anybody there, but,
Why is no one watching your stream anymore?
Nope.
No.
Nobody was watching anyway. Actually, no, that's a lie. Somebody did watch for a bit earlier, but
But it archives it, isn't it? Yeah.
but the YouTube is archiving it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
However, I do keep dropping off my
Yeah.
Oh, I think.